Hey guys, figured I'd shoot a little video of this turbo bike we have up for sale. It is a 1993 GSXR 1100 Turbo. It makes 437 horsepower at the crank at 21 psi. It's set right now with a tune in it for 11 psi to ride it on the street. Makes about 320 for the street. It's completely gone through a lot of custom handmade parts on this bike and so on. It's in wonderful condition, as you can clearly see, for a 1993. Battery's dead. We just pulled it out of storage. We have been sitting here for years. It's got a built motor, Hayabusa rods, rod bolts, so on. It's got a MTC engineering locker clutch setup in it. It has a hand fabricated turbo system. Obviously you can see the air cleaner and the ductwork going through the side over there. The bike has a mega squirt fuel injection system in it. So this is an old school build. It's really cool for the guys that like the old school stuff. It has Dana packs, coil packs, Taylor wires, and so on. Let me give you a little walk around. It has a hand fabricated swing arm that is the air tank for the air shifter. So I ended up putting Hayabusa rear sets on here. You can see the air shifter underneath and the brackets I made for the rear of it and the Busa pegs. I have race set staging sets that are extremely low, and it's hard to drive it on the street with the sets, so that's why I ended up making brackets and putting the Busa sets on there. The swing arm is a hand fabricated swing arm, and it is the air tank. The air pumps under the seat. This is RC component chrome wheels. It's a 250 rear tire, so it's a fat tire bike. Still has the shock in it, so it still has suspension. And it has the spring chrome for the shock, and it has a spacer on there to toughen it up, get it a little stiffer, stiffen her up. And obviously the Busa set on this side with the bracket for the brakes, wave rotors, so on. It's an original plastic bike with some seat covers I made for it real quick just to match. Plastic's in great shape. The exhaust comes out this side. It has newer style GSXR 750 forks on it. So it's got the newer style inverts with a steering dampener stabilizer on it. So this way it has the bigger rotors, the bigger brakes, the double piston calipers off the newer style GSXR, newer style front fender, obviously the RC components front rim here. It has the GSXR 1000 hydraulic clutch setup in it. I do have two different grips on this bike. Yes, I was in the process and never finished it. So we have, and this bike's not clean. We just pulled this thing out. This thing is filthy and needs to be power washed. Yeah, so we got the GSXR 1000 hydraulic clutch going over here, obviously to the MTC engineering locker clutch. So that's a spacer for the locker clutch and so on, obviously, so it spaces out the original cover. And then we have a spacer on the bottom of the fairing there, so we can get that spaced out around and nothing is touching. A lot of little chrome trinkets on this bike, a little chrome here, a little chrome there. We have HID lights in the headlights, the blue old school Tiger shield. And we got chrome brackets here and there. We have the liquid filled boost gauge right here. We have the shift light in the back, and we have the air pressure gauge that runs for the air pump that runs into the swing arm. We have a couple of different small little switches here. We have two switches on this side, three switches on this side. This is for the electric fan. This one is I don't even remember what that one is, to be honest with you. And one is the air pump, and I forget what the other one is. Oh, the other one you switch up, I believe, and then you hit the horn button, and that is what triggers the air shifter to shift. Did a nice job. Everything's cut clean. The plastic's cut clean for all the 2 1/4 inch aluminum tubing for the intake. Power programmer. All tuned. And she's been sitting for a few years, so she needs a battery. However, we are going to hook the battery up and we are going to show you what she sounds like. It's just a nice, clean, old school bike, man. You know, that's the kind of stuff we used to have back in the day, and You know, it's got some upgrades on it, some bolt-ons on it, and so on. It runs on VP. I got a bunch of, I got a race drag tail for this. It's a painted drag tail. It doesn't look exactly like this, but it's blue and white, and it goes to the back of the tire. So I have a drag tail that comes with it. Like I said, I have the sets that come with it. If you don't like the seat covers, you can take them off. The black original good condition seat covers are right underneath. So all you do is pull the staples, and now you have the black seats again. We had little tiny mirrors on this bike, tiny mirrors, dental mirrors actually, and we have those somewhere. But in the process of taking this thing apart, and changing the tail and so on, back to the street so we could ride it on the street, I misplaced them. I do kind of somewhat know where they are. I'd have to look for them. The bike is an animal on the street, man. I'll tell you that right now. Let me put this back on the stand. We'll start it up. Put the jumper box on it. Start it up. Bike is an animal on the street. All it does is blow tire off. She's pretty crazy when it comes to just lighting tire up. And I don't know. She's a handful. And then like I said, we have it turned down to 11 psi right now. The wastegate's on the other side, the blow-off valve. The wastegate's on obviously the turbo, and the blow-off valve is set to 11 to start this thing, to ride this thing on the street. You take it out, she's a handful though. That's what you get when you kind of play with this drag bike bullshit. Electric fuel pump, all braided lines. Obviously, because now it's fuel injected. That was a $5,000 setup just to put the fuel injection into this bike. Runs perfect, idles perfect. Like I said, I'm sure she could use a set of plugs or something. She has been sitting. Turbo's just been gone through, completely sealed up. This is literally the second time it started. Maybe 5 minutes before. Maybe 3 to 5 minutes worth of runtime on it total since the turbo was rebuilt. It's got a brand new clutch in it, and we're almost out of VP here. We got old VP sitting in here as well. Obviously steel gas tank, no rust on the inside, so the VP really doesn't go bad. But she's a nice bike, man. It's up for sale right now. 6,500. Guys, let us know. Call the shop if you're interested in it. Walk you through it. We have a couple of people who want to come down. Bike man until you try to twist that throttle, and then she's all over the place at that point. We have a folder of paperwork to go with it. We have a bunch of tunes